So today I'm going to show you a $100 YouTube studio setup for beginners. So if you're just getting started on YouTube, don't let the gear you have or the budget you have hold you back from recording videos for YouTube. You can get started with the gear that you have. So the videos on our channel when we started 3 years ago were recorded with my iPhone 6s. For audio, we used a Zoom recorder like this. And you're going to like this. For the lighting, we had 2 of these paper lantern lights. So 2 of these lights that were hung up in front of me. That's how we got started on YouTube. The thing is, on this channel, if you go back to the older videos, this video has 400,000 views and was recorded with the gear that I just showed you. So I imagine the phone that you have in your pocket right now has a better camera than that old iPhone. So I want to show you the difference it makes having stable video with a tripod or something to prop up your phone or camera, good audio, and lighting. So right now we're recording our video with our Sony a6600, the microphone we normally use, and lighting. But if we then change this to my cell phone, so this is the Google Pixel 3 and the same setup otherwise. So this is actually the front camera of that phone. So the better camera is on the back of it. So if you have a good light, good audio, you can use your cell phone and have good looking videos. So what I wanted to go through today for your $100 setup, the most important things are the audio. So having good audio, people will stick around and put up with bad video if the audio is okay. If the audio is bad, no one's going to stick around. Having a stable video and having decent lighting. So let's go over what we have with the $100 setup. So the first thing is a tripod. So having stable video is really important. This tripod from Neewer cost $18 on Amazon. Everything we're going to talk about today, I'll put links to down below in the description. It has a clip for the cell phone, but I'm using that on this cell phone right now. After that is the audio. So for the audio is this $20 lav mic from Movo. The important thing with this mic and why we recommend getting this style is if it has this on it and it has an on-off switch and uses a battery, it doesn't need a battery if it's plugged into your cell phone. But if you do later upgrade and want to use a camera, the microphone is going to need to be powered. And so if you spend a couple extra bucks and get a microphone like that, it gives you a little bit more flexibility. So that's something we're always looking for with our gear, is something that we're going to be able to continue to use longer, regardless if we're recording with a phone or camera, etc. So after the microphone, the important thing is, depending on the cell phone you're recording from, you may need an adapter. So here's an adapter that came with the Google Pixel 3. And here is the same adapter for an iPhone. So if you have a newer phone, doesn't have an audio jack, and it didn't come with one of those adapters, you may have to get one. I think the Apple one is around $8. And moving on from that is the lighting. So I'm actually using one of the Neewer lights. So a pair of these cost $45. So what I want to do now is basically show you what your videos will look like. You're starting with a cell phone, and start with that of here's what it looks like with a cell phone, record on its own, and then add in the $100 gear. Okay, so here's our starting point today. I'm holding the phone out at arm's length. You have the overhead fluorescent lights, and you have the audio being recorded directly on my phone with no external microphone. The very first step, obviously the camera is bouncing all over the place right now. It's probably hard for you to watch, so let's set this up on a tripod. So if we set it up like this, you can see the shot is much more stable. It's probably a lot easier to watch me now. The next step is the audio. Let's now add the lav mic. Okay, so now we have the lav mic hooked up. How much better is the audio? So one of the things you probably noticed, as my phone got further away, now it's a little further away than arm's length. So the audio got bad as my phone was further away. But then with the lav mic right here close to me, as the sound improved greatly. And so that small investment of a $20 lav mic is really, really important for your audio. So now let's improve the lighting. So the first thing we want to do is turn off the lights that we don't like right now. Okay, now let's get the Neewer lights turned on. So something like that is much better, you know, having the light coming in from in front of me as opposed to directly above. One of the things with these small lights like this is that it's a much harsher light, not as soft of a light as, you know, what we use normally is this big, huge light source. So the reason that I wanted to get these Neewer lights is because of the flexibility. So they're really small. They're just sitting on top of my desk right now. The thing is, if you don't have a large space, if you're recording in your bedroom, a small office, something like that. You know, right now we have a tripod, we have a light stand, we have a microphone stand, and we have 2 stands for the sound blankets, which makes it almost impossible to walk around here. So these small lights on top of a desk in a small space will work well. If you want to kind of diffuse these or have it not be such a harsh light and maybe not see the shadows behind me. One, for the shadows, you could just move away from the wall a little bit. But if you want softer light, one of the cool things is I'm recording right in front of this big white sound blanket. If you had a white wall, you could do the same thing. So if we turn this around, you see a white wall, hopefully. And so what we can do now is if we just turn around these lights like so, it doesn't look great yet, but if we then turn up the brightness, so I have that whole white wall essentially in front of me lit up, and I have a much softer light, and so you don't see the shadows behind me anymore. So obviously with the glasses and this big white light in front of me, there's a reflection. So if I weren't wearing glasses, it isn't as big of a deal. Or the other thing that could happen is if I were recording kind of off at an angle like this. So if I'm recording and I'm not looking directly at the light, then you don't see, you know, the reflection in my glasses. Also, we're thinking about doing a video on how to light your videos if you use glasses. If you're interested in that, let me know down below in the comments. But the important thing is here is just think about what your needs are. So if you check out a video that Think Media did on a $100 setup, they use a much bigger light, but just bought one for $45. To get 2 of those, I think was like $60 or $70. So that's an option to have something that's much bigger. You can reflect the lights off the wall like this. One of the things that I also did is if we turn one of them around, so one against the wall, one of them facing me, maybe something like that could work. So I mean, it's just a matter of trial and error, finding something that you like the look of. The other thing is I have the lamp that maybe you've seen in some of my older videos that's in front of me right now. If I turn that on, it's shining light off of the ceiling. That adds some additional light as well. So just think about what your needs are and, you know, little by little start improving your gear, and your videos will look better each time you do that. But don't let this be an excuse of, hey, I don't have X, Y, or Z and I can't record my videos. One of the other reasons that I wanted to get these 2 Neewer lights is for this. So the Neewer lights come with colored gels. So we're back using our normal light, and the Neewer lights are down here with the red gels. It also comes with blue and yellow. And one of the cool things you can do is if you have a gray or white background and colored lights, you can change the color of the background like this. So if you're just getting started on YouTube, definitely check out this video up above. There's a ton of tips to help you get started and grow on YouTube in 2021. Also be mindful of mistakes new YouTubers make. We have a video on that I'll link to down below. I hope to see you in those and future videos. Bye bye.